How long does a blepharoplasty last? So first we should define what a blepharoplasty is. Most people will say an eye lift, and this is the same as blepharoplasty. So what you do with blepharoplasty is take out the extra little skin that's above your lids here, and that's what we call an upper blepharoplasty. That's whenever you have hooding, it's kind of heavy, it can make your eyes look a little bit smaller, but taking out that skin can open it up. A lower lid blepharoplasty is when you have these bags underneath the eyes or extra skin here, taking those out so the under the eyes looks really nice and smooth. How long does an upper lid blepharoplasty last? The thing with changes around the eyes is generally it's genetic. So a lot of times you can look at your family members and you can kind of see, oh, maybe I have my eyes like so-and-so, I can kind of see where this is going, and so I tend to see people a little bit earlier in life for these sorts of things. You can say, well, my mom or everybody in my family had really heavy eyelids, or a lot of them have already had this procedure done. And so I'll see people somewhere in their 40s, maybe early 50s, where they say, oh, I can start to see it getting heavy. And so then we can have that conversation. The great thing about it being a genetic thing is usually it lasts a very long time. And so this is not necessarily primarily an aging thing, although you do see it more with time. It's a genetic thing, and so once you address that, it can last the rest of your life, or maybe it's 10-15 years or more to where you start to see that little bit of sagging there again. The caveat with the upper lid blepharoplasty is the position of the brows. So if you go in and you say, you know what, my lids are so heavy, it really bothers me, but the issue is that the brows are descending over time, it's really easy to address the eyelids because that's what you came in for, and okay, great, and we do this, and it's an easy procedure, but those brows will continue to descend. And so if that's the case, it's usually 3 to 5 years, if not sooner, that you're saying, you know what, I see this again. This is an issue. So it's a good thing to take a look at the whole picture of, is it the brows, is it the lids, is it both? And in most cases, it's worth it to address everything that's going on at the same time. And I understand, and there are people that say, you know what, I just want to address the lids, and I know that this could come back faster, and maybe I'll think about my brows later because that's not something I want to think about. And I totally understand that, and that's the direction we go with that patient. However, there's other people that say, I want to do this once and be done, and I kind of don't want to have to deal with this again. And if that's the case, then it's best to look at the position of the brows. How is it today versus 5 years ago versus 10 years ago? And if it is lower, then what we would do is a brow lift where you lift the brow, and not like a crazy lift like you look surprised all the time, but it's usually a 2 to 3, maybe 4 millimeter lift that opens up the eye, and then if you still have some skin, do the upper blepharoplasty to take that out. And so it's good to go to someone that you're able to talk through the whole picture and really get a better picture of what's going on with you to make sure you make the best decisions moving forward. Since the changes around the eyes are genetic, the great thing is upper blepharoplasty lasts a very long time. This can be at least 10-15 years, if not the rest of your life, because we're changing something that is a genetic thing, and you will see changes over time. But for a lot of people, it does not go back to the way that it was, something like a facelift or things like that that are primarily just an aging thing. And so this is something that you can have done and then really look good for a very, very long time, if not forever. How long does a lower lid blepharoplasty last? Since the changes around the eyes are genetic, the nice thing is it lasts for a very, very long time. Most people, it's the rest of their life, because once you address the fat, and if it's adequately addressed, it lasts forever, pretty much. If you see changes, it may be more of an age-related changes that could be 5, 10, 15, even more years down the line. Sometimes there's a little bit of extra fat that maybe you go back and take out later, but for the most part, it lasts you for a really, really long time. The thing you have to be concerned about and ask questions about from the lower lid blepharoplasty is the position of your eyes, and are they deep set eyes, are they not deep set eyes, and the relationship for your eyes and the cheeks, to make sure you don't take out too much fat, because that is something that we'll see down the line, is if too much fat is taken out, then it kind of looks hollow and it can make you look older than what you are because too much fat has been taken out. So it's a fine balance, and it's finding exactly what is going to be the best long-term goal and long-term effect for you. What is the best age for blepharoplasty? Like, since this is a genetic thing, I do see people younger. I'll see people who are in their 40s, For the most part, I do see people in their 50s and 60s, and then every once in a while I'll see somebody in their 30s that it's just heavy, it's just genetically very heavy, especially on the upper lids, and that is really the best thing for it, is to do a blepharoplasty. And it's a very simple surgical procedure. It is still a surgery, it is still something that has an incision that needs to be healed, that takes time. But as far as when we talk about surgeries, the recovery is really not bad. It's about a week with some stitches in, it's a little bit of swelling, you feel pretty good the next day or so. And so this is something that, especially in that younger age category, the 30s and 40s, when we're talking about, okay, how much time I'm gonna have to take off of work, I have kids, how I'm gonna fit all of this in, it's nice that that can fit in pretty well in that age category. Have questions? Call or email anytime. I help people like you every day and would love to talk. Thanks for watching.